Hello and welcome back to another bloody good vaping. So a bit of a quick video today. It's not necessarily a brand new device, but more of an upgrade to an existing device, and that is the Rose 3 TPD edition. It's quite a catchy name, isn't it? Rose 3 TPD. Now, of course, we have the TPD well and truly amongst us right now. So, you know, we've got regulations to stick by, and Eden Mods have gone back to their Rose 3 design and made it TPD compliant, pretty much shrinking the thing down. And they did the same thing with the Rose 2. They made a stumpy kit for it, but this one actually sticks to that 2mm capacity that the TPD are screaming for. And yeah, here we have now. And it actually has shrunk the Rose 3 down by almost a whopping 10mm. I believe the Rose 3 is about 44.6mm, whereas this is 36.5mm. So nice and diddy there. It has all the same functions, the same deck, the same juice control, the same look, but basically just shrunk down to size. You know, they have upgraded the spring wire inside for your AFC now. I know a few people had a lot of trouble with that, mostly the Americans. But you know, of taking it off and losing the little spring thing, and some being a bit too loose. So they've made sort of like a tougher spring for it as well. Makes it harder to actually get the AFC off as well. So you have to be a bit more complacent getting that off, and actually made it a bit more firmer on the turn of the AFC. So that works well. But it's exactly the same function, exactly the same look, exactly the same feel as a Rose, but just under compliancy with the TPD. Just take a quick blast now. I've got it on my scent seal, and yeah. You know, if you're watching this video and, you've all probably seen the Rose 3, you've probably watched loads of reviews on it, but yeah, if you haven't seen the Rose 3, I did a review at the beginning of the year. There's a lot of reviews out there for it. Pretty much if you want to learn how to wick it and stuff like that, you know, go and check those reviews out. We're basically just taking a little look at what the Rose 3 TPD looks like compared to the Rose 3 standard. Now, you don't just have to go out and buy a whole new atomizer for this as well. For all those existing Rose 3 owners, you can go and buy a maxi kit, which basically, a stumpy kit, which will actually consists of 2 PC1000 tanks and a little chimney. So you can turn your existing Rose 3 into a TPD compliant Rose 3. Or if you go and buy just the Rose 3 TPD, then you can also buy a maxi kit for it to make it like an original Rose 3 with a lot more capacity in it. But shh, don't tell anyone that. So yeah, let's pop down to the table now. Let's have a little look at it up close and see what this beautiful looking atomizer looks like up next to its bigger brother. And then we'll come back and give it a bloody good vaping. Safe. So upon receiving your Rose 3 TPD edition, it will come to you in this rather familiar tubular box here. We got that with the Rose 3, with the added inclusion of TPD Compliant there underneath the name. Inside you'll get a very welcome bag of spares, and it includes an Allen key. Look at that, Eden Mods sparing no expense this time round. 1.5mm Allen key there for building on your deck. We've got all inclusion of O-rings there, some spare grub screws in case you lose any, and some spare spring wire. You'll all be happy to hear that. So we've got spare spring wire in there in case you have yourself a mischief and lose those spring wires that you've got in your AFC. But yeah, there's plenty in there. I think there's about 4 or 5 and an extra long bit as well. So plenty there to keep you going in case your carpet eats up some of that spring wire you've got. Now you'll also get a stainless steel tank. Mine came with this already on it. I just switched it to the PC1000, but you will have a PC1000 tank and a stainless steel tank as well if you buy the full atomizer. Now you do not get the stainless steel tank with the stumpy kit or the maxi kit, obviously because the finish may not match your existing atomizer. So only with the full kits you will get a stainless steel tank with it. And here is the Rose 3 TPD. And as you can see, looks just like its bigger brother. We've got that smaller tank there now, almost like the front of Knight Rider's car. Looks pretty dapper. Now, we're still 22mm in diameter at the base here, 22.6 with that airflow control ring. But we're now 36.5mm from the top to the bottom here, not including the 510 or the drip tip. We've got a firmer ring. We've got a firmer AFC ring now with that thicker gauge spring wire in there. You know, I know some people thought it was a bit too loose, but we're nice and firm now, a lot thicker, a lot more pressure needed to turn it. And we've also got a change in the drip tip as well now. We've got that more sort of contoured in top of the drip tip there. I mean, if I show you the original, There is the original there, which was just basically a flat, straight drip tip, but now it contours in like that, making it a bit more comfortable. So yeah, nice and small, this version, really, really small, but it does only hold 2 ml of juice, keeping it TPD compliant. So you may have to fill it quite a few times in the day, depending on how much juice you go through, all depending on your vaping style really. But let's stand it up to next to its bigger brother. Let me just get that so it's a bit more easier for you to see. There we go. So you can see quite a considerable amount of difference there. It is a lot smaller. But yeah, you know, you've got the same great vape from it. Same look, same style, all the same features like juice control with your drip tip. I mean, if you're not a fan of the standard drip tip with those 2 teeth that are in the bottom of it there to work your juice control, I use Simply Tips from Cloud Mods. They fit a charm, really. They fit perfectly. Or anything maybe with like dual O-rings on it, any drip tip with sort of thick O-rings on it will work this juice control, no problem, if you don't want to stick to the standard drip tip. But yeah, exactly the same all the way around, just a lot smaller, a lot dinkier. But nice to look at nonetheless. So there you go, there you have the Rose 3 TPD. So there you have the Rose 3 TPD edition. You know, if you've already seen the Rose, if you've already got one, you know how it all works, you know how it wicks, you know how to coil it and all that stuff like that. If you're watching this video and you haven't seen a Rose per se now, go back and watch my original review, and there are a plentiful amount of other reviews for the Rose 3 online. But yeah, this is just basically the new TPD version, so 2 ml capacity. Same vape, same great flavour, same build, everything else same, apart from the spring. In the AFC, you know, I know a lot of people had some trouble with that. I've still got my original spring in mine, and I had a Rose 3 before production came out to review. So, you know, I didn't lose mine, even though I dropped it a couple of times because I'm not stupid. Yeah, but a lot of people did lose them, and a lot of people felt they were a bit too loose, so they have sort of thickened them up. So it's a lot more sort of tighter now, a firmer on the ring. Firmer on the ring. I'm going to leave that in. I'm just going to leave that in. I ain't editing that out. It was brilliant. So yeah, nice and tight on the ring now. And and just shrunk down for the 2 ml capacity. Now, for those who've already got a Rose 3, don't panic. You're not going to have to go out and buy a completely new Rose 3 TPD edition. You can buy a Stumpy kit with it, which will come with, you know, your stainless steel bits, of course. You'll come with 2 PC1000 tanks and your little baby chimney, right? Doesn't come with a stainless steel tank because the finish might not match your already existing Rose 3, but you do get 2 PC1000 tanks with it. And if you do go out and buy a Stumpy version like this and then think, God, I want some more juice in it, I'm filling this up 4 or 5 times a day, you can buy yourself a maxi setup as well to make it like a traditional Rose 3, which will come with 1 PC1000 tank, your stainless steel ring bits, of course, and your bigger chimney. And that will set you back £25, whereas the Stumpy kit's going to set you back £30. If you haven't got a Rose 3, or if you're like me and want all the roses, then they'll set you back £120. You'll be able to get them from the Eden Mods website. I'll put the link in the description. They're not released just yet. They're coming very, 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 very soon. And they'll also have a Facebook group as well where they give regular updates, and then I'll let you know when other things have gone back in stock. So I'll put the link for that in the description as well. So if you're watching this Rose sort of thing for the first time and didn't know what it was, go back and check out previous reviews from other people. It is a fantastic tank. It is constantly in my rotation, you know, made in the UK as well, hence why we have to be TPD compliant now. Motherfucker. But yeah, you know, it's a good looking tank. I know some people out there like the smaller sort of tanks as well, so it does look great being a bit smaller. Yes, you have to fill it a few more times, but it's easy as fucking pie to fill. Shut off that juice control, whip off the top, fill it in, and Bob's your uncle, there you go. So yeah, I mean, lovely looking thing, and it works great. The finish on it is beautiful as well. They will be bringing out some multicoloured tanks as well, just to spice it up, like they did for the previous Roses as well. So there you go. Let's take a quick blast now. Lovely, I do like the Rose, very, very nice indeed. So yeah, that's the Rose 3 TPD, 2mm capacity now, dropped down to a 36.5mm, not including the 510 or the drip tip. It does come with that standard drip tip. It has been contoured a little bit more round, it's been rounded down at the top a bit, so it's not completely square like the original one, which I forgot to mention. So it's a little bit more rounded at the top now, so it's a bit more comfortable. But you do get that tip with the little 2 grooves in it. However, I do use Simply tips from Cloud Mods, and they have those dual O-rings on it, so I can turn my juice control rather nicely, so I don't need to use the basically the standard Rose 3 drip tip. You know, you will have to find a drip tip that's got kind of dual O-rings on it, that's got a tight enough grip on it to be able to turn the juice control. Otherwise, you know, you have to use the standard one or come up with some little tool. I did use like a little nail file, you know, that I used every now and then if I just had like a nice little wooden drip tip in there. But yeah, yeah, that's pretty much the TPD version. It looks great, to be honest, nice and dinky, and yeah, lovely. So thank you very much for watching this TPD compliant review, and I will see you on the next one. Stay safe.